How's it going, everybody? We are here at Universal Studios to do an HHN Tribute Store walkthrough. We are going to look at everything inside of the store, take more of a look at the store itself versus the merchandise. We will be covering the merchandise as well, but we did a lot of merchandise coverage just a few days ago. But also, I want to talk a little bit about what I'm hearing a little bit with the HHN houses and things like that. No specifics, no spoilers, but just things like the queues I've been hearing about how they're operating. So some good little details that should help you out in the future. But either way, we're about 20 minutes from the HHN Tribute Store opening, so let's go ahead and get inside. As we are heading inside, I do also want to point out for the Tribute Store today, Wednesday, it is HHN Tribute Store previews for AP holders. Tomorrow, it will be open to the public. We do also have Premium Scream Night tomorrow, so I'm sure you'll hear a lot of information about the houses and everybody's thoughts and such from there. Yesterday, like I said, was team member previews, so it was the very first run of kind of a full staff there. From what I am seeing, I don't know if we were getting anything else, by the way, inside of this first scare zone for Duality of Fear. Like I said, we did see some of the testing for the sisters just a few days ago. And then I think for opening night, I don't know if they wheeled anything out. I didn't see anything inside. I was trying to avoid too many spoilers inside of the park. But you can see no extra details have been added out here. The line has started to form back there for the Tribute Store, but because we still have a little bit of time, I'm not gonna be the first one in. I have no issue just kind of waiting in the AC and relaxing. While I am in the Jimmy Fallon store, soaking up some AC, I will tell you one thing I have heard, that A Quiet Place, some people have said has been really scary, some people said it wasn't super scary, but the consensus that I am hearing is the Insidious house. It's pretty darn creepy. A lot of people said that it's the top of their list for kind of scary houses. So we'll have to see what ends up happening. Again, no spoilers at all, but that's just what I'm hearing is the Insidious house is freaking some people out. So I wonder if it's kind of similar to Exorcist. They aren't in the same spot. Again, I thought Insidious was gonna be where the Exorcist is. It's actually, I think Insidious is through, not the Jimmy Fallon queue. I think it's right next to us here, right? If I'm not mistaken, now I'm a little mixed up, but either way, that's what I was hearing there. So keep an eye out for the Insidious house. And also, I guess I should just point out a lot of people from team member previews, it could just be because it's the one that's up here, because A Quiet Place is right up in front of the stage here, and it's again like the second house that you have. People are saying the line was incredibly long for it, so something to kind of keep in mind if you guys are waiting for that. It is probably going to be a pretty long line throughout the night, just like The Last of Us. That would be my guess, is it's going to be pretty similar to that. Also, it is 10:47, almost 10:48 right now, and it's 86 degrees. It feels like 98. So if you're coming this weekend or anytime in the next few weeks, be prepared for the real feel temperature to be about 12 degrees more than the actual temperature. It gets incredibly hot, and it's only going to get hotter here over the next few hours. Before we totally get started with the HHN Tribute Store walkthrough, please make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy HHN content or anything related to theme parks. Also, if you do enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help out a lot. Now let's go ahead, get over to the Tribute Store and start this walkthrough. I do want to point out they took off the scaffolding from the top, but it does look like in the window there are a few things that they kind of added from the scaffolding into the window. So I don't know if that's because they wanted to do that or if that's just because that's how it was actually being set up. Not sure, but it does look like they added some ramps a little bit out, a little bit more extended there. And again, there is the line for the AP preview, so we're gonna actually go ahead, head over and get ready. We are getting pretty close as of right now. We waited maybe 10-15 minutes or so. The line's moving pretty good, but not a lot of people have come out, so I bet you it's gonna be pretty crowded in there. Something else I'm noticing is at the exit, we had like the chair and a few things on the outside. I'm not noticing that this year, so we'll have to see what the kind of exit area looks like. It also looks like we have added additional lighting in here. We did have the lights along the back wall, but it does look like we've gone ahead and put them on the front here. So we are walking through the crate now. Let's start our trek in. Right off the bat, it looks like we almost have like construction belts over here, construction equipment. You see this monster run. So it looks like we are entering maybe a subway station of some sort. We have construction, we have arrows pointing us inward. Oh, we have blueprints actually back here as well. Look at that. All right, we are kind of making our way. No bats. I think we are following what they are now calling Batilda. I think the name has changed. Construction area. Keep out. Not safe-ish. Eek a bat. Let's kind of head down here. Let's see what we can find down here. Oh, turn that down. If you can read this, go that way. This is very dark. I can't read it. I turned it down. I read it through my camera. Wrong way. That's safe. I feel like we're getting baited. A wall of kind of a map, it looks like. So safety, stay away from the museum. Beware the bat creature. There we go. If you see a bat, I feel like we are definitely in the bat's cave at this point. Let's head in now. The law, never refuse into street. All right, here we go. It's giving Last of Us vibes. We have Little Boo merch right up front. Got a cart. So this is definitely feeling like almost post-apocalyptic down here. Let's turn this down a little bit. As you can see, this is wild. What? Again, more of these bat signs over here. Oh, a QR code if you guys want it. There you go. Let's see if we can get that focus. There you go. Again, we have all this vegetation in here. Looks like kind of a truck, maybe broken down on the edge with all of the merchandise. Shirts. Wow, stereos, TVs. That is pretty cool. We haven't even like totally gotten in yet, I don't think. All this stuff here. All right, and then this is supplies. But as we just look around this room here, you can see all of the fine details. This literally feels like we're walking through a house. This is giving us Last of Us vibes for sure. Another map over here. Looks like it's kind of the same one. So we were seeing this right here, which was the kind of the posters from Sahara Traders, and then we have the map there next to it. I mean, it's all of the little details even. Like down here, you have like the cinder blocks, the cardboard boxes, you know, as they're supplying. Oh, I do think this actually might be some new merch here. Let me take a look. See if we can get a view of that for you. It almost reminds me of like an ashtray or something, or just maybe like a jewelry holder. Now let's head into the supply store here. And let's see what we just walked through. Wanted, large bat creature. You see that there? With the reflection, or I guess the shadow. More of these signs. They do not like this bat here. And this is looking so good. I mean, totally in distress. This is definitely, you know, some sort of post-apocalyptic world here or something. Everything is kind of ran over as we exist here. Again, even things like up top, right? So you have like those like bowls, just adds to the entire aesthetic. Up top there as well, you can see some of like the beans and things that you can buy for the tribute store. I don't think those are anybody's there. You can see like Sir Lime and then the beans. So I don't think those are the ones. I'll have to keep an eye out for the one that you could actually purchase. Whole Ghostbusters wall here. Let's see, almost looks like ammo boxes and like crate boxes up here. There we go. Okay, so maybe they were. Right there, you see it. So those are the things that you could actually purchase for the tribute store. And we have the llama beans, we got the oil, and then maybe like the cereal or whatever that we have right here. Oh, I didn't actually see these before. These are the shot glasses now for Ghostbusters. Those are going to be $10. I'll take a look at this mug. I think this is new too. That is pretty sweet. You have Stay Puft. You got Who You Gonna Call on there. That is a nice mug. I like the finish on that. $20 for that. Up top, we have a few more signs of some sort, or I guess like another can. And then right here we have like a bucket, empty when full. Well, there's plants in there now. I don't know what else is in there. But look at this. So it looks like they may have some point been aiming at the bat, and they have one of these kind of like posters that you would bring in like a shooting range. No holes in it though, so I think they're missing. Another one of these posters for the bat in 3D. So this sign is actually in 3D, which is kind of interesting. If you take a look here, it does look like we have maybe this poster down here. There it is. Oh, that was upside down, but it is this poster here. If you guys are interested in buying it, but that is 3D for sure. Kind of looking at it, you can tell they have like the red and blue lines, the old school 3D style. Oh, that is the full wall of them there. So you can see a ton of the options. So it's like a fully stocked shelf. That's kind of fun actually. I like that they did that. So it kind of like makes it seem like an actual store shelf. There's a lot here though for sure. Over here we have the Stop and Shop right here. As you can see. Over in this corner we have an emergency alert up on the TV that you can see. So they're kind of announcing it there. And we have all of these weapons back here. I wonder if they are selling these at the store here, so you can see all of the crazy assorted weapons that they offer. Another one of these posters here. This one actually looks a little bit different. Still no holes. I don't think they're hitting their targets. And then down here you can see kind of more layouts and things of that nature, more posters and signage here. The shadowy figure, pots and pans and chainsaws over there. It looks like they have sleeping bags and tents. Very cool, super well designed. Back there they have garlic for $10. Maybe it's similar to a vampire to keep it away. More blueprints over there. And then more signage. Kurt's Rules. This is his supply store, by the way. So Kurt's Rules, cash only. Don't waste his time. Now a lot of kind of repeated signage over here. Also, we didn't cover the new headbands and scrunchie. They are Ghostbusters themed, which is pretty fun if you guys like something like that. We also have some candy over here. Ghostbusters chocolate, s'mores flavored, obviously. And then you have like almost like shots of goo. That is also pretty good. We did see a lot of this merch here. Let's go ahead and get into the next room here, coming through the drapery. But it's kind of like a vinyl drape, kind of a garage door style here. And we have a big carton of something, some sort of, you know, liquid of some sort here. I don't think it's written on there anywhere, but there's like a packing slip, a grocery of clothes, or a grocery cart of clothes rather. And then you have the skull there, more signage. And then we have rain over here. Always love that effect. I think it's a great way to kind of bring a room together. Back there we do have some signage above, but we can't totally make out. Just says HB, it looks like. For rent, 4 rooms and bath. Unfurnished. More kind of like graffiti all over. But then we have Boris Was Here. Probably an ode to Boris Schuster. More QR codes. And over here, it looks like we have a very bizarre, whatever this is. Looks like a case of some sort. I don't really know. Caution sign, more grocery cart with clothes in there. We have a pumpkin, kind of pointing up this direction. So let's just continue on then in here. So if this says safe, kind of spray painted, so this must be the safe room as we head in. Wow, look at this one here. We have a little bit of a surf shop or something up there, it looks like. But what is that? Doesn't he look like a surfer? I don't think he is. I think it's just a mannequin holding on to something. Amusements. Let's see back here. It looks like we actually have like a gasoline carton with some more supplies. And then you have like mannequins back there. Can you see them? This is pretty neat. We have almost like this like, I don't know if it's Korean, Japanese, or whatever, but the signage here as it goes downward. Also above this one, Daring Exhibition and Frank's House. I feel like that was from like 2 years ago's tribute store. Look at all of this signage, right? So it's HHN. Let's back up so you can get a good angle of that. So it says HHN, if you see the big letters, but they're all different. That is super cool. This is so well themed. Like this, I know every year we always talk about how it doesn't feel like you're in a store inside of a park, but like this really feels like you're almost in some sort of like haunted house. I think it's just so good, and I feel like the layout completely different from last year. A full wall of signs here as well. All right. Up top, it looks like there are some broken windows. Not sure what's going on up there. No lighting or anything, so it just looks like maybe distress of some sort. More letters on the countertops up here. And then down here we have more signage. It really does look like what we had from like 2 years ago, that tribute store. Kind of how it's almost like a little cartoony. But it does look like obviously this is some sort of like storage house of some sort. It's the safe house rather. But they've got just a bunch of random stuff in here. We got a window here with kind of just a small display. It's cool that they're utilizing some of the merch in just like random locations to kind of just like bring the merch to life a little bit. And then, you know, you have some like old school stuff here, right? So definitely like old wood, old kind of ammo boxes. So the new coloring kind of feels a little weird, but I like that they're trying to implement it, and I can definitely respect that. Here is a look at the tribute store sign as well, the non-HHN one. This one just says tribute store. Completely empty now, looking great. Over here we have an upside down grocery cart with a big barrel kind of strapped to it there. Cooler down on bottom. So I don't know what they're doing with this of some sort. You can see right here some of the bulbs are completely out and some are almost like partially lit up. Maybe it's just because they're next to ones that aren't lit up. Even right there, they're missing one. So I think it's meant to look a little distressed. Looks like we have an entire truck side over here. And then right down here, we have a tent. Somebody is camping out in there. And they have their own toilet even off to the side there. A little stove, some lighting. Crazy. They've got their whole setup. Little safe house again. Oh, you see that right there? There's a little acorn with like wings. I wonder if that is an ode to Earl the Squirrel. More walls of merchandise again. I'm not totally covering a lot of the merch just because I feel like we did already cover most of it. Anything new, I am pointing out along the way, but I'm just trying to show off the details in here. And over here, it looks like we have another wall with some graffiti and another grocery cart with some ammo boxes here. As we kind of walk through, you hear like electricity buzzing. I'll try and be quiet for a second. So hopefully you guys were able to hear that. More vines and things like that. Look at that. The Amulet of Fear. The interactive lanyard. But I don't know if that's real because I don't see a lanyard like that. But I wonder if that's just kind of based on this signage that they're grabbing. It seems like they grabbed a lot of their pieces in here from an amusement park or something. Is kind of what it's feeling like for their safe house. You know, like up there you can see like popcorn, candies, hot dogs, fries, ice cold drinks. So it does feel like we were kind of utilizing amusement park props of some sort. Kind of again our theme, and I've shown this a few times, but just a better look at it. You have the full skull there, like the lightning bolts coming out of the eyes. It says exit over here. I wonder if we're done or if this is just onto the next room. I think it's just to the next room. These are some new Lil Boo sweatpants here for $45. You got Lil Boo all down the side there. It does say Lil Boo right there. And if we turn it around, nothing on the back side, it doesn't look like. So if you guys like sweatpants, there you go. And then actually down here, it even says Howling Hornets. And again, kind of in a subway, they have sound effects coming. Even this, those are touches that I feel like are bringing this together right here. So much graffiti in this hallway here. Look at all this. Green paint. Interesting. Let's see what we have. Flamingo hat forever. Just like skulls and we have a big Earl the Squirrel with like a green face. Kind of looks almost like a Frankenstein version. Kind of coming down here. We've got bats. And let's see. Is that supposed to be a gravestone? R.I.P. So a lot of stuff in here. I definitely recommend checking this out and kind of looking at all the fun small details. More signage though for this bat. I'm excited. So we are definitely not done yet. We do have Mr. Tape from the Tribute store that is actually up there right now. His shirt has sold out because people love Mr. Tape so much. More piping along the top of the wall right there. And then again, this kind of like HB. Is it HMB? I don't know. Maybe there's something that I'm missing. We also have more bats down here. All right, let's head in. This might be the last room here. Heading in, we can see, feels like we are now in a lair of some sort. We have entered somewhere we maybe shouldn't be. You can see kind of like the actual sewer design here and these big pipes over here, big walls of things. Oh, there's the bat that we are hunting or about to get hunted by. I'm not even gonna lie, these little roaches came out and it freaked me out and I started to back up. I did not expect that, so it looks like they come from the wall. Yeah, you see these? That is disgusting, it's so good. But also, it looks like we have, again, the bat that I was showing you, but we have 33, but we also do have 2024. More fun details, again, all of these pipes over here as we are kind of walking through. It's kind of like cut out, kind of this like corrugated pipe almost. More of these containers, more pipes. It says free bats, I think, or is it rats? I might say rats on that one. Here is the new Insidious shirt too. I don't think we have covered this one. Pretty terrifying looking. Kind of a black and red tie-dye. And on the back it does say Insidious the further Halloween Horror Nights 2024. It looks like we have the new treats over here. As we wait to take a look at some of the treats, we can also see up top there's some like tubes like piping up there as well, but you can see kind of this stuff growing from the ceilings, which makes me think that again we are in her lair. More pipes that they have kind of added in here. Those are not real pipes, those are for decoration, which is the coolest part. Now as we look at the treats, here you go, pumpkin, lollipop, macaroon, a lot of major sweets treats here. As you can see his face on a lot of them. We have an Insidious one here, we have the Ecto one caramel, we have the Batilda cookie. Down here we have a ghost s'more, and then we have a candy corn blondie. Definitely giving major sweets vibes, and we actually have a major sweets hat treat down here with it looks to be a little boo kind of design. We have a Mel's Dying cake over here, more ghost trap blondie. Look at that, that's so cool. It looks like the ghost trap there, and then you have a lot of fun treats here for Ghostbusters. Obviously, you see that they even put like a little goo in there. That is pretty sweet. And then we do actually have the little Boo Sugar Cookie. I think we had that last year as well. We also have some Major Sweets Candy Factory treats, which we're gonna go take a look at here in just a minute. We have our masks back this year over there on that wall. And it looks like we have some kind of like underwater vibes with the projections over here. It says to turn back, which makes me think this last room, we are going to come face to face with Batilda. Blumhouse shirt here, Blumhouse merch. I think we've seen some of this. I think I've covered most of it. That one wasn't in our big merch drop. That was actually over at the Men in Black store. There's even a turnstile as you are walking in here. Does it work? It does not. But here we go. Let's head into the last room. You can see kind of a derailed and crashed subway train over here. It says newsstand over there. Still more of these signs. It kind of feels like this abandoned, just, I don't know, subway station that you are just creeping through. Completely different smell in here. I'm just smelling it. It smells like burnt. So they're pumping smells in here too. That is wild. We have some Dia de los Muertos merchandise now, as you can see. And I feel like Nicole is going to absolutely love that. Look at this. So you have like stringing flags, I think is what they are, and then you have the arch gateway there with the skull. We do have a Batilda poster, it looks like, here as well. Beware her wrath. So do you think we're getting a Batilda house in the future now? More masks over here. Taking a look at the subway car over here. Looks like we have another QR code down there. And so the smell is, I think, coming from this. I think it's meant to be like this exhaust. It's so potent. Oh my gosh, it's so strong right here. So I think I can feel something coming out from here. I think that's where they're pumping the smelling. That is wild. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's continue on over here. That is so smelly. We have some lights in here. A lot of distress there. Gosh, if something popped and smacked that window, would not be a happy camper. We have, it looks to be the subway system map here as well. It does say to Jersey City, so I think this is meant to be New York. Then we have kind of a big wall here, almost as if this were to be like where you would enter. A lot of greenery and shrubbery up top, but let's go take a look at the icon herself. There she is with her glaring red eyes, and she is coming out down here, very creepy as she looks over you. And she sits upon her throne up there. I feel like Batilda is kind of the icon of the tribute store down here, as you see kind of all of this kind of shrubbery and whatever kind of reaching into her area as she is peeking out. You know, and it's funny because I feel like every year we kind of always have like the iconic person kind of staring at you and kind of creeping out, but also look at this right there. We have that idol that we've been following from Sahara Traders, and then we have like an Anubis statue that looks like the statues that you see over there in Sahara Traders. So we kind of see what has been happening inside of that store as well. Something I really do appreciate as well are the cash stations here. So this is Museum Station and Fifth Avenue Cashier. So you kind of go to these booths along the wall. It just looks so grungy, and I think it's really well themed. I don't know, this is super, super good. Even like where they're holding some of the stuff up front here, This kind of reminds me of almost like giant like cinder block walls of some sort as they kind of wrap around. So that is super awesome. I just like how themed everything stays as you go from room to room and area to area. All right, let us head out. I think that is the end of it. More subway trains looking right through here. And then if we head right out, oh, we do have our Tribute Store coins. Let's see which ones we have this year. So it looks like we have a Ghostbusters one. We have a Quiet Place, Lil Boo, and Major Sweets for your coin options. And then we have the newsstand here, which I feel like I actually remember seeing something like this before. And we kind of have a little empty crate thing back there, a little empty opening, some barbed wire down here. Curator was here, and that is it. It does look like we have added these kind of railings here to this scare zone. Now, I'm gonna walk through the park. I wanna point out just a few more things before we do wrap it up. We do have these like spears right here, and then it looks like we're probably covering a head on a spear there. So we have added a few more things inside of the scare zones. It does look like we have our navigational signage here. It's kind of covered up now, as we were kind of expecting that to pop up, obviously for team member previews. It does look like they have lowered the water out here in preparation for storms. You can actually see the line that it was at. I mean, that's multiple feet that has been drained now. So if you look at the rocks in the back there, there's kind of a line that is like halfway up, and that is where the water normally sits, I think. And a lot of this stuff is pretty much buried, but you can see everything now because, again, I think we're preparing for some storms and they don't want things to get messed up. Also, I do think we are stopping the show, you know, for HHN. I don't think they're doing the nighttime show. I think it is done with its run here very soon, which means obviously, I guess, why not drain it and not risk any issues? Let's take a look at the Major Suites area in here. They kind of decorated it up, I think, even like the windows. We have now his face here on the end, and I think that S is for him as well. So it looks like we have some banners and such for Major Suites, but you can see all of the banners in kind of this orange and black. Reminds me a lot of the Scare Zone that we had. And then again, that S, I think, is for Major Suites. I think they swapped that over. And then on the windows, I don't know if the SM is for Major Suite or the MS is for Major Suites. A little bit of blood. It looks like they've extended their menu to an external unit here on the outside. So before, I think it was only right there by the POS station. Now we have one that is out there, so you can go take a look without feeling like you're cutting people off as you're just trying to look at the menu. So that's nice that we have one on the side. If you guys come over here to Battery Park, they also did add some tables if you want to eat down there or have a drink down there, just so you guys are not missing that. Just another spot to go hang out. We have a nice little photo op for the Blumhouse films here, Face Your Fears. As you can see, we have Freaky, Happy Death Day, The Purge, Insidious, and Teacup. Interesting. Streaming on Peacock. Also have a menu out here now, so people can tell that this is the booth for that. Funny enough, it doesn't actually say like the Cary Drive-In or anything here. It is just the menu. So yeah, I guess just keep that in mind. It is back there when you're looking. And another one over here. So it looks like they've adjusted them. Actually, that was out, I think, but I think it was actually around the corner, like on this side. So now they just moved it. Now I want to come over here to talk about the queues and the new sprung tents. So let's go ahead and chat about it. Now again, this is for the museum Deadly Exhibits. And what I'm hearing is we're actually utilizing some of the Simpsons queue. That is just what I have heard. These are all things that I'm reading and hearing from people, so we'll know for sure come Friday, but I just want to kind of point that out. So I did hear we are utilizing this queue, but the bigger thing is those sprung tents, instead of having to come all of the way out back into the park, there's actually almost a central hub. So what you're gonna do is you'll go into a house, and then when you come out, instead of coming all the way back out, you'll kind of go into like a little hub with the other sprung tents. At least I think for the new ones. I don't know if the old ones are gonna work the same way, but from what I'm hearing, the new ones, you are going to be able to then come out and then circle back into the new sprung tent houses. So instead of having to like come out and like loop around a lot, so it should save you a few steps, I would hope. But that is what I am hearing. Again, we'll confirm that with you guys on Friday, but that would be really nice, just so you're not like adding a bunch of extra steps and eating up some time. As we are walking through this scare zone right now for Demon Queens, I did also hear we are carting some things out, at least one thing to my knowledge, so we should be getting at least one additional float in here. I don't know how many, but that is always nice to know that we're getting a little bit more propage in here. Well, that was everything at the park today. We covered a little bit of some Scare Zone stuff, talked a little bit about the houses. Again, no spoilers. I don't want anybody to have any spoilers for anything going into the night. Also, as far as the tribute store goes, I think the tribute store is fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I think this is a very cohesive tribute store, which means like the story from room to room really kind of blends together. Somewhat feeling like some of the rooms, you don't know like almost where it starts, where it stops because of the, you know, just the fluidity of it, which I think is very cool. The one thing is, like for me, I like having that stark difference to be like, oh, this room is specifically this room is specifically that, and you kind of have a change, a very harsh change. I kind of like that when it comes to the tribute store. So for me, it's not number one over the past few years, but I would say it's probably number two just because of how good it is themed and just like, it feels like you're in a haunted house. And I think we say that every year. We're like, oh, it feels like we're in a haunted house, but this one really does. They have the smells in there in that last room, which is crazy. You're kind of following this character, Batilda, throughout the entire thing. And I just think the way it's done is so just like, I don't know, it's a chef's kiss as far as just execution. And I think they did a fantastic job. But for me personally, I like that harsh difference from room to room where it's like, this is a graveyard. This is, you know, a haunted house. This, you know, like, so you're going completely different. I like that because it's just like, oh, like such a change, such a shock. Where this one, it's like you go to the next room and it kind of digs into the story a little bit. So super cohesive, very cool house. Absolutely love it. Like I said, the execution is fantastic. This is probably going to be a lot of people's top just tribute store for HHN in a very long time because it is that well done. Highly recommend it. Super cool. And yeah, I think it was a good time. Either way, 2 nights till opening night. We have tomorrow a little something for you guys, and then Friday we have, well, I guess we have 2 videos that I guess are kind of coming out, and then our opening night will be here then Saturday. Either way, we have some fun content for you guys, and we'll have a fun opening night for you. We'll be covering everything, showing everything that we talked about today, giving you some reviews on what we see from like first glance at the houses and Scare Zones and everything. We are in it. We are in the thick of it. We'll be there. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you guys had fun. Remember to stay cool because it is very hot out here. We'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.